Hello class, my name is Mrs. Paredes. Today our lesson plan will be on equivalent fractions. We have two objectives for this lesson plan. Our first one is to explain why two given fractions are or are not equivalent with 80% accuracy. And our second one is to define equivalent fractions and to convert fractions into equivalent fractions with 80% accuracy. So let me give you some background information. Our lesson plan will be about 50 to 55 minutes. All right, so in math, equivalent fractions can be defined as fractions with a different numerator, a different denominator that represents the same value or proportion of the whole. So usually when you have two fractions, they'll equal each other. So they can be two different numbers, but they technically mean the same thing. So I have an example here. So basically if we have a half and a half, we have a half and a half. This is equivalent to 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, which is 2/4. And then we have 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and so forth. So we have a half, 1/2 is equal to 2/4, and 2/4 is equal to 4/8. But you can also write 1/2 is equal to 4/8. They're all equivalent fractions. Although they're all different numbers, top and bottom are different numbers, they're still equivalent fractions. So how we did this was basically you would multiply top and bottom by the same number to get an equivalent fraction. So here what they did was multiply 1 by 2 and 2 by 2. So we have 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. Then here they did the same thing. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So you multiply top and bottom by the same thing. If you were starting from 4/8 and you wanted to get it to 2/4 or 1/2, you would divide. So you have 4 and you would divide by 2 and you would get 2. 8 you divide by 2 and you would get 4. Same thing here, you would divide 2 by 2, get 1, 4 by 2, and get 2. So you have 1/2. All equivalent fractions reduce to the same fraction in the simplest form. So again, with this example, this would be the simplest form. 1/2 would be the simplest form. You can't go any smaller than that. So for this lesson, we'll have a couple of activities we do. So in the beginning, we're going to go over some things. So a couple questions we get asked a lot is how to write them. So basically, if you have 4 times 6 is 24, 3 times 8 is 24. So you want to get to know multiplications first. You want to know what times what equals what number, what divided by what gives you what number, so that it's easier when you actually have a fraction to simplify it or make it larger or even get an equivalent fraction. All right, students, so now we are going to create a big chart. So everybody pick either a fraction or a definition or a fun fact. I actually have two here. Basically, why are equivalent fractions the same? Because when you multiply or divide top or bottom by the same number, it keeps its value. So that's something to remember as we go along with the lesson, okay? So we're going to create a fraction chart, which is going to help you throughout the lesson. We will laminate it. You guys get to decorate it. And you could keep it on your desk, in your desk. You can use it for, your worksheet. We're going to have a quiz afterwards to see how much you understood. So you could definitely use that. So students will create large fraction chart including common and uncommon fractions. So you could use 2/4, 1/2, 14/42 equals 1/3. And then you can include some fun facts, such as any number over itself equals 1. For example, 2/2 equals 1, 7/7 equals 1. Also, anything over 0 is undefined, such as 1/0. And 0 over any positive number is 0. So these are going to be fun facts and information to help you as we go along with our lesson. All right, so now we're creating a matching game. Basically, you could do like You could do, like those matching games where you say, you pick up a card and it'll have like 1/2 on it. So on your board, you'd find 1/2, you put your little chip on it. If you have 7/7 and on the chart it has 1, you could put your little chip on 1. So that would be our second activity. Our next one will be our closure activity, which you will create a song to help you kind of remember this. I found one. It's not too like catchy, but basically says, when carrying out a fraction of equivalent fraction, change the denominator using multiplication or division. The same for the numerator. It goes with a song, so you kind of have to play the song to like go along with the actual words. But we'll go over that a little bit more. I'll pull up the song and we could do that. For our closure activity, you're going to create the short song and include some facts. Towards the end, we're going to do an evaluation. This is kind of to see how far you guys have gotten and how well you understood it. It kind of looks like this. So I'd give you guys this chart, and you're pretty much going to define equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are equal in value. Circle true or false. 4/12 and 2/6 are blank. Are they equivalent fractions? Are they non-equivalent? Then if we go down to the bottom, has 0/9 is what? Undefined. Is it 0? Is it 1? Same for 0/4, 7/0, 5/5. What are fractions in general, not just equivalent fractions. So you're going to fill in the blank or circle your answer. And then we'll be done with our lesson. Hope you guys enjoyed.